Well, I got a new pair of boots, and I'm about to trek 4,000 feet of elevation and over 16 miles in them today. So we'll see how these Merrell, Ontario 85s hold up over this strenuous adventure. Yummy.
How are your shoes doing, Aaron?
Kicking butt and taking names.
Yeah? This is the first time for a big hike?
Oh yeah. The downhill will really tell it, but uphill so far so good, no problems. Man, are we gonna have some fun on this video, not only breaking down these boots, but just being able to show you the adventures that these boots have taken me on. Mainly this hike from Grand Lake on one side of Rocky Mountain National Park, over the Continental Divide, through Rocky Mountain National Park, and down into Estes Park, doing that in one day. That is what I did extensively with these boots. We're gonna bounce back and forth between that trek and some other treks I've done. I've used these boots extensively, not only for that hike, but also using them on a bunch of day hikes, doing, closer to town, 6 miles, that type of stuff, and a lot around the town use, just, going to the office, going out to dinner, doing that type of stuff. So I've had a full range, I feel, of experience with these boots to give you a good full review, to give you my data points so that you can make that wise choice on if the Ontario boots from Merrell, and particularly the Ontario 85s, are going to be worth it, and the type of boot you're going to be looking for and happy with. All right, so let's talk about what connects with the ground. This Vibranium, whatever you want to call it, sole is what we have here. They call it the Mega Grip, and it has 3mm deep lugs. Now, I really like the traction and the way they design the lugs. They really grip well. I haven't seen any chipping out, chunking of the lugs as well, just because of, Vibram. I mean, it's really, really good stuff. And what I really liked is that with the 3mm lugs, they're deep enough to grab onto all the gnarly stuff that I was going through on this trek, rocks and dirt and shale and everything in between, which I was really happy about. But they're not so deep that sometimes with some certain boots, they have these deep gaps in between, and then mud and gunk and snow can clog in there, and either you begin to lose traction because it's getting stuck in there, or they are a pain to try and clean out after a hike. This is really nice, and I like this because you can wear these to the office, hit your trail, or do whatever, or take, over the weekend, wear these on your trail hike, and then clean them off real nice and quick, and they're going to clean out really easy compared to some others out there. So that was just a little thing that I noticed, so that you can then wear them to the office the next day, and you're not taking 20 minutes with a power washer to try and clean out the sole, which was super sweet. So the sole gripped really, really well. And then it has this midsole that has Merrell's air cushion and heel absorption shock stability system, and then it also has compression molded EVA midsole for stability and comfort. So that's what we're looking at, and it's a nice thick sole. I like it. It's thicker than some of the other kind of like trail runners and some of the other brands that we've looked at recently. I like how much cushion it gave me. It really supported my foot really well. Even the heel cushion kind of flares out to give you even more stability. I really like that aspect. So I never felt like I was walking on something that was too narrow. I never felt like I was going to roll my ankle, and it really supported me, but also it took the impact of all of the different material that I was walking on. So I was really pleased with that and really happy with how these performed, not only when I was trekking up, but then also when I was trekking down. So we are going downhill, going down to Bear Lake over there. Super epic. So I just want to show you guys what I'm going down. You guys have seen a lot throughout the day, but lots of tough rock, obviously an angle, pretty gnarly stuff. This is typical of high mountain trails in the Rockies, so a boot's got to be able to handle this for me, and so far I'm loving it. the nice big toe box on these shoes really help out a lot. And yeah, the sole is absorbing the shock and the odd angles really well. One thing I did want to touch on though is that this midsole on certain points almost kind of overlaps the tread itself, and I could see that there was a little bit of marring, and as you guys can see here, and just kind of wearing on those sides. Nothing that chunked out, so I was really happy about that, but that is something that I kind of saw. And obviously guys, I've had these for about a month and a half, and as you're seeing here, doing lots of trail time with them, but I don't have, you know, like I haven't used these for 2 years, so I don't have a longevity data point for you. I'll give you all the other data points, but that's something I don't have. So long term, I don't know if that's something you're going to begin to see kind of like some tearing out and chunking, or if it's not that big a deal. It's just a data point that I noticed, particularly with the really gnarly stuff that I was going on with a lot of rock and shale, just to be aware of and something to consider. Now on to the upper. Now these retro ones, these are going to have a combination of Cordura, yeah baby, fabric, and that's where you're going to get all the cool colors, particularly with the retros. This is one of the kind of staples, but they have like brown and green. They have, I think, like purple and gray, and then they got orange and brown. So they got a couple different options, and I'm sure they're going to release more down the line. This one, again, being blue and red. So Cordura fabric, super abrasion resistant. I didn't see any sort of fraying, any sort of wearing. Even when I got dust and stains on them, I was able to clean it off really well. Some of that, I'm sure, is with the waterproof that we'll talk about in just a second. But then there's also suede. So that's the other part of the boot, is this gray suede that's holding up very well, has a very classy feel. And I like it because it's comfortable. It's not super rigid. This boot body in the upper is not rigid. It's very flexible. It definitely feels like a sneaker, more like like a sneaker, not like a hiking boot that's usually thick and rigid. This feels a little more flexible, but still giving me great support. I never felt like it wasn't giving me the support I wanted. It just didn't feel like a big, giant, hefty, clunky boot. So I really appreciated that aspect to it. And then it has a nice little heel cup as well, rubberized on the back there, and then again that midsole, that mid height going up around my ankle and giving support to your ankle. Now that ties in with the Select Dry that Merrell uses. Now that's their waterproof capability. Now when I was hiking my first time out and around town, I was wearing these in about 80 to 85 degrees, and I could definitely tell that my feet were a little warm because these are waterproof. So they weren't sweating and like terrible, but they weren't breathing as well as my non-waterproof boots from other brands, as well as from Merrell that I own. So note that when I was doing this over the Continental Divide hike, I think our highest temperature was about 75, and I didn't notice it at all. I never felt like they were sweaty or bad. But you know, midsummer, if you're looking at hikes that, or just wearing around town, that's going to be more than about 70 to 75 degrees. You will notice that they will be a little warmer than your breathable boots and tennis shoes. So just keep that in consideration on the data point. A lot of that has to do with the waterproof capability. Now, the waterproof capability is mind-blowing. I have not experienced a level of waterproof capability like I have on these boots. I submerged all the way down, like halfway up the tongue, and I got nothing in the toe box. Nice. Nothing. I don't feel anything inside that toe box. That's awesome. That is nice. Now, how about the fit? How does it fit my feet? How do my feet kind of size up compared to others? Now, I wear size 11, and about a dozen of the pairs of shoes that I own, I have 11 only. I don't have any 10.5s, I don't have any 12s, 11.5s, nothing like that. Every single brand of shoe, including Merrell, I have 11s in, and that's what my foot is consistently. So I ordered 11s in this, fits perfect. Not too big, not too small, I'm not swimming in it, it's not too narrow, it's not too wide. So it fits really well for me, having a basic width foot. I have a medium-sized width foot. Right now on the Merrell website, that's what they're offering. I don't see any like extra wide or narrow, you know, all that different stuff. You could contact Merrell to see if they offer that or if they will in the future. Right now, I believe it's just a mid-width. As you saw earlier when we were talking, the toe box, I believe, when we were doing the downhill, is a little bit larger than some, and even right around the toe where it connects to the ball of your foot Didn't seem tight or constricting in any way, but it didn't feel like I was swimming, which would cause blisters either. So that's all really good. I don't have a low arch, or like no arch, and I don't have a high arch. I have a medium-sized arch. The arch support was fantastic. Didn't cause any sort of problems. I didn't feel like there was any lack of support there. And as I talked about earlier, the cushion fit really well and just really hugged my foot in the way that I wanted it to. I wasn't sitting there going like, oh man, so these need to be tighter or looser or whatever they may be. And that ties in also with these D-rings and the really nice laces that they've given you. These laces, I've owned certain boots and shoes in general. You know, the laces are constantly coming undone. They kind of slick and slide underneath each other. The material even is really grippy, so they grip to each other. And because of the D-ring, it makes it very easy for you to loosen up maybe the top of your foot, but then you really want it nice and snug around your ankle, up top, and you can loosen and tighten very easily where you want the pressure on your feet with this design, and I was very happy about that. And then just giving you one set of hooks up there at the very top to complete the tying off of the boot. So I was very happy with that as well. They really put attention to detail on those laces, and I'm happy with that I don't have to go out and buy $12 nice laces. It comes with stuff that really grips each other well and doesn't come undone. I didn't have to retie my boots once throughout that entire 17.7 mile hike. All right, guys, so I will hit price with you. Now, I did get the chance to have this sent over to me by Merrell. So Merrell did send these over to me to test out, review, give you my thoughts, give you the positives, maybe any drawbacks for you to help you make that wise choice. So what we always want to do here is give you that data. Then you guys can decide, hey, yeah, these 85s look totally like what I'm looking for. They fit my style. I love the 1980s. I was born in the 80s. It really connects with me on not only a performance level from what I've experienced, but also in just a cool retro feel, but also to just help you guys decide whether or not it's what you're looking for. There's other boots or gear or whatever. That's what we always do here at the channel. So the normal going rate for the high top or mid top version is going to be $140. We will have links for you guys over to Amazon as well as backcountry.com. We appreciate when you guys use those hyperlinks and all the hyperlinks that we offer to you guys. But $140 for this version, and then the low top version is about $110, both for men and women. And then I think the kids version is like $65 as well. So for that price point, you're getting, in my opinion, a boot that has not only a style to it that will connect with you, but a very lightweight capability. That's another point that I want to hit with you, that this is very lightweight. That was one thing that when we did that 17.7 mile, 4,000 feet of elevation gain hike, was I wanted to cut every ounce that I could, but I still wanted something that gave me good support in the ankle because of the uphill and the downhill and all that. So I didn't want a trail runner, but I didn't want my super heavy like backpacking boots. And I believe that this gives you a really good hybrid, because each boot, according to my scale, comes in at 15 ounces. So you're looking at just under 2 pounds for the pair. And it really does feel really light. I never felt like they were clunky. I could really dodge over rocks and do the type of things that I wanted to do with this. So it almost felt like a trail runner, but it gives me the stability of more of a boot. And so the real moment of truth comes in after that type of a hike. Would I wear these boots again? Because I have other really good boots, not only from Merrell, but other companies as well. Would I wear these again to do that exact same hike again? Or was I like, I'm good. Like, let's not do that again. Because that's, to be honest with you, going into this video and going into testing this is what I thought. I thought these would be great around town boots, you know, give you a little bit of style, make you feel cool, give you, you know, maybe in like colder, wet environments, you know, you don't have to worry about water getting your feet wet, you know, if you're walking to work or school, you know, around campus, whatever it would be. And then if you want to hit like a little trail, you know, like maybe 6 miles round trip near the home or something, then sure, go with them. They're just kind of like an everyday type of boot. These really prove themselves to me. I would do that hike again in a heartbeat with this exact same shoe. I would. No problems asked, no worry, no concern whatsoever. It gave me the balance of lightweight but support that I was looking for that type of hike. Now, for those of you maybe who are going over miles and miles for long, long periods of time with very heavy loads. Now, my load was about 25 pounds. Now, if you have super heavy loads and you're doing heavy duty backpacking for days and days, this may not be exactly what you're looking for. You may want something with a full shank in it and heavier duty toe box. Now, the trade-off will be that your boots boots are going to weigh a lot more and won't be as flexible and nimble, which is what I wanted on that type of a day hike. So very pleased, very impressed with it, and I would absolutely use it again in that type of a hike, and really proved itself to not just be around town, but something that can absolutely take me all day and do the longest hike I've ever done. That was the longest day hike I've ever done in my life, without any sort of problems, and get me home without any really aching feet or problems. So there you have it, folks. I hope this video has been entertaining and enjoyable. Please comment below if there are any things that I missed that you would like answers to. I'll do my best to answer for you in the comments below, and give me any pointers if there are things that you might like me to touch on that I haven't in this video for future boot reviews, because we review a lot of gear here. I've used a lot of shoes over the years, but I'm just now starting to do more shoe and boot reviews. So I'd love to always get better at that. And I always like your guys' feedback, pointing out, hey man, talk about the insole. You know, like you didn't talk enough about the insole. I want to hear more. You know, or talk about the lacing more. I didn't hear about that. You know, I always want to get better, and particularly when I'm starting out in something new in the videos. So guys, thank you so much. I invite you to subscribe if you're not a current subscriber. Check out that other video popping up. We're throwing up videos every single week. And as always, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.